Welcome into Fantasy Unclean. I am your host, Rich Fiddler, joined as always by Scott Robley and Fredo Carvel. How we doing, gentlemen? Besides a just clusterfuck of technical difficulties.
I just realized how giant my headphones are.
Oh yeah, dude, they're massive. They're massive. Yeah, right. Because now you're looking at them
see
right
them
there.
like I look retarded.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it doesn't help.
We were gonna do a mock draft tonight, but every time we
a lot of things.
we were gonna do a lot of things tonight, but
angles on the night.
Everything we've done it freezes our system.
I chose the wrong day. What I should be doing, if I'm gonna make changes, like swapping out the computer to do a full reset, do it day before or 5 days before.
Yeah, probably like 5 days, like Tuesday, like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is when you need to start.
Yeah. I thought I'd be able to, because we always run into these problems. You guys know this. We always run into these problems where we start the podcast
and then
fucking late, and then we start it, and then it becomes this whole goddamn thing. All because I have to take my laptop to work every day, and so I was trying to make that work. So I brought in a separate PC to be able to handle this, and it's just fucking, it's nuts, dude. It's so terrible.
Yeah.
Luckily, I got all the audio figured out right away because I know the settings now on all the things for the audio.
That's the hardest part because
that's usually the hardest part. Now I can't seem to get more than one camera working at a time. I cannot do a screen share.
Yeah, if we do a screen share, it literally freezes everything for us, which is super dope when we're trying to do a mock draft episode.
Well, we could still do the mock draft and say fuck the camera after we get done with our faces and then just go over to the live and do the mock draft.
Yeah, we could do that. What do we, as far as...
So we're just talking like week 2. We at least saw some starters this week. Not a lot of them.
Yeah,
but some starters.
What?
Some teams didn't run any of their starters. Like Denver still hasn't ran any of their main offensive starters.
That's because
Wilson
is still out on a ride.
That's right.
Broncos, let's ride.
I cannot wait for that.
Broncos, let's ride.
I cannot wait for them to just get slaughtered.
That is the one game this year that I hope Seattle wins.
It's honestly,
the very first game of the year.
If we go 1-16, we win. like we're throwing a parade in Seattle because who gives a shit about your dumb Lombardi trophy? We just kick the shit out of him.
Fuck you, Trebek.
So if Wilson loses to what is supposed to be a subpar Seahawks team,
Andrew Luck has better passing stats.
Like, let's say that Andrew Luck has 225 yards Drew Lock.
Andrew Luck has a shot.
Yeah. Can we get him? Can we get him back? No, we got so if Locke goes for 224 yards, 3 touchdowns, and on 17 passes and scrambles for 55 yards. You know, the 2012 Russell Wilson.
Right.
That's what I want to see. And that's not that hard. It's only the NFL.
It would be hilarious to see Seattle beat the Broncos right out of the pack.
Yeah, or him to tear it out.
Oh my God, how good would it be if they won it, the Broncos drive down, and then the Seahawks pick it off right at the goal line like happened in the Super Bowl?
That would be total redemption.
Should have run it.
Absolutely total redemption. And I just want to see Russell Wilson call the play himself because he's the offensive coordinator.
Where's
Don't
Malcolm
think
Butler?
anything else, huh?
Where's Malcolm Butler right now? Can they sign
he's
him?
not on a team right now. They could sign him.
No, he's actually. I think he's on IR.
I thought I just saw something saying that
he was with the Patriots. I think he got put on IR.
Oh, okay. Wow. Oh, cool. Yeah. He's back with the Patriots. Awesome.
Yeah. So they're so far on the season.
Yeah.
We're preseason week 2. So far on the season, we're at 14 ACL tears total across the league.
Damn.
Now,
all offensive line.
That's offensive, defensive. That's every player. That's
sure.
Not a lot.
Fantasy ACLs.
Not a lot of those have been towards fantasy players. Luckily.
Yeah.
Right. However, Rashad Penny is injured.
Yes.
Let's not forget that.
It's a groin.
And so is Kenneth Walker.
So is Kenny Walker.
He had surgery.
On a non-sports related hernia. Who gives a shit? It's a hernia.
Right.
That literally means his intestines pushing through his abdominal wall.
Right. And I don't know, man. Like, as long as it's not, I guess the only thing, if I can get through life, Okay, would you rather get stabbed in the stomach by I don't know, just a standard pocket knife, like an oversized, not an oversized, pocket knife, not like a Swiss Army though, like a man pocket knife, right? Would you rather get stabbed in the stomach or have a testicular hernia?
Testicular hernia.
Testicular hernia.
Really?
Yeah.
Your ball just falling out, hanging loose.
I've had a testicular hernia. I had one in high school.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, I actually do kind of remember that.
Yeah.
I feel like it made a lot of fun.
I would rather avoid any possible piercing of intestine and leaking into my body, rather have my intestine leak in itself just into my ball sack.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That would hurt.
That would kill.
That would hurt.
Right.
One time, I do not want to get stabbed that far into my gut.
So if the Dolphins beat the Niners,
That's effectively what it feels like. Shit, man, I wish we got this working.
I think it will work if you do it. But even if we
You want me to try it live?
No, I'm talking about like if
We'll wait till we're like capped off, and if it just goes
If we
blank, we just kill it.
it doesn't freeze the web page itself.
Doesn't what?
It doesn't freeze the screen capture. It just freezes the camera.
Does it, or does it freeze the screen?
Well, then it's an
I don't
impromptu.
know.
Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get into the show a little bit, and then we'll just be like, "Bye, guys. If this closes down, bye.
Right, exactly.
We'll be back."
Not a ton has happened this week.
No, I was a little surprised. Scott and I talked about this earlier. Like 3 hours ago now.
It seemed unnecessary.
Kenyon Drake
Oh yeah,
being released.
Yeah.
that was a little wild.
That seems surprising.
I think Zamir White showed a lot.
Yeah, but you already owe him. Like, he's guaranteed like $2.5 million. I mean,
I don't know. It doesn't make
you
any sense.
have Josh
Jacobs.
Thank you. Totally drew a blank there. You have Josh Jacobs, who has been injury prone as it is,
Right.
anyways.
Who's the other one there?
I don't know.
I think
thought it was,
that was the biggest plus of Josh Jacobs this year was it's just going to be him, and then Kenyon Drake comes along and gets signed, and we all went, well, fuck.
And then last year they split. Drake got a lot of the passing work.
right. That's why I'm surprised that they released him. That was pretty shocking to me. The good news is Michael Thomas was back, and now he's back on the injury report with a hamstring injury.
Well, that's his home.
So it has been for the last 2 years now.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, just real quick. Did I hear that Trey Lance had a broken finger last year?
Yes.
Last year, he broke his finger against the Raiders.
What week was that?
Preseason.
What the fuck is the point of the IR or of the medical reports? These guys are supposed to be every year. You hear about this every time. There's every player, impactful player, your quarterback, even if he's the backup in that town, he is an impactful player. Every player has to be listed on the injury report if there is an injury.
Right.
And yet, every year we find out, I've been dealing with this thing all year long, and I broke my finger last year.
But they're never on an IR. They're never on an injury
and
report.
nobody ever gets punished for it. Like,
nope.
Like it's just like this one rule that they've just decided to flaunt. Like,
fuck this shit.
Sexual assault.
Nothing was talked about until he had his start, and they ran him over. They ran him over and over and over again, and then he tweaked his knee because of that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I was a little surprised by that as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't mean he's going to be like...
Injury bug?
An injury bug type player.
Yeah.
Already being on the Niners, that's already an injury bug just waiting to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
We're going to a Niners game.
We are going to a Niners
When
game.
are we going to go to a Niners game?
December 4th.
Wait, hold on.
We need to find a hotel.
Their opponent is
The Dolphins.
Yeah.
It'll be a really fun
And
game for you guys.
Yeah.
No matter what, I get to see one of you guys suffer.
Offensive coordinator and half the free agent staff that came off of the Niners is on the Dolphins staff.
That's true.
This is sort of like a coming home party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right. Mostert won't make it that far.
There's no chance.
No, he'll be running so fast he's already past it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so that'll be really fun. I'm pretty stoked about going to that. I think, yes, that is my first NFL game.
That's your first
I've
NFL game?
never been to an NFL game.
I'm popping your cherry.
Yes, you are. And I'm going in San Francisco, no less.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like this. Like, you didn't even have a say in it.
Yep.
No, you're just fucking go.
It was just like, hey, we're going to this game. Okay.
I figured you'd been to a Seahawks game.
I've been, no. Closest I've been is to the Kingdom, but I watched a couple of Mariners games. But
Seen other things in the stadium.
saw Metallica in, stadium.
That's
awesome.
Supercross
Yeah.
in that stadium. Deftones and Limp Bizkit and Linkin Park. Fucking, that was an amazing concert. Just a terrible one to go to with your mom. So, and bless her heart, she did her best. But we sat so far back that I couldn't even see the topless girls.
No, nice.
That was very upsetting.
Yeah, because you were a teenage boy
I
at the
was
time.
like 15. Like,
Yeah.
man, I was ready to go. Like, and I had just that year gone to New Orleans for the Sugar Bowl and got to see New Orleans boobs. And that was
nice. Nice.
So,
Everybody loves a good New Orleans boob.
who doesn't?
Booblet.
I don't know. Anything else as far as Baker Mayfield got the job?
Yeah,
He
Baker
was
Mayfield, I
QB1.
mean, we all knew that was going to
It was
happen
coming,
anyways.
Except
Sam
for
Darnold
Ja
is,
Rule.
Sam Darnold is sad now.
Sam Darnold is sad now.
He is going to turn into Casper, the friendly ghost, since he's already seen him in.
He's going to
the
end up
Jets.
being a backup quarterback in this league, and he will make $30 million over the next 10 years.
Yeah, probably.
I'll
And
take that job.
He'll be perfectly fine.
Tom
Yeah.
Brady joined the team back.
Yeah,
so
his mysterious absence.
They said he was on an exclusive resort, but
Whatever. If he was, then he still would have gotten photographed by.
What I
Paparazzi
don't
at some point.
get is, like, if he wants the week off, is anybody going to challenge? Like, not only on
No,
the team,
it's preseason.
but anybody outside the team? Like, you don't have to go to practice. You have to go to practice if your coach says you have to go to practice.
Right.
Right? The kicker doesn't start there in the morning when everybody else shows up and leave after everybody else
And
takes
most
off.
of the main targets outside of Julio Jones are all in the same freaking scheme.
Right.
They all know what
Right.
they're doing.
Yep.
Yeah, these
They
guys-
all know that Tom Brady knows how to throw them the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, just go where Tom Brady tells you to go and you'll be fine.
Right.
So that's so he's back. Mayfield is QB1. Geno Smith Drew Lock has COVID, but he should start this week,
Yep.
which is good because I fucking hope that Geno Smith does not get the starting job. What else?
looks like there's some rumblings with Antonio Gibson and was it Brett? What was it? Brad Roberson? They just Brad Richardson.
Oh yeah.
Antonio Gibson was running with the number 2 and doing kickoff return while Robinson got the start.
Yeah.
He was playing
He
with
also
the
hasn't
Lions,
done any of that. He didn't do any of that like preseason game this
So,
week, and
we'll
he
see.
didn't do any of that today either. So
Yeah.
I still foresee Antonio Gibson being the one on the team.
Yeah.
He's not the RB1 hopeful that we had before.
No,
though.
he's not the possibility of being that CMC type role that everybody like.
It's still within the range of outcomes, just on the very, very, very outside range
Yeah.
of
Okay, so-
outcomes.
I'm in a dynasty draft, which they started tonight for some reason. I'm at the 108. Javonte Williams, DeAndre Swift, Dalvin Cook are there. CeeDee Lamb or Devontae Adams or Deebo Samuel.
You said it's dynasty.
Dynasty, apparently.
I would probably go Swift.
Swift over Javonte Williams?
I would say I might go Javonte Williams. Swift is on the Lions. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
I think Javonte.
So even with all of his volume that he's getting, that's going to be good this year, next year maybe, but
Yeah.
he's still inevitably going to end up, in Detroit.
yeah.
And look at Matt Stafford.
Matty
1 year removed.
Stafford,
1 year
yeah.
removed, and he goes to the Super Bowl.
Ed wins.
And
You guys see that shit about Antonio Brown? His biggest regret?
not being able to see himself.
play.
That's his biggest regret in his long years of being crazy ass Antonio Brown.
Yeah,
His biggest regret is not being able to see himself.
live.
Oh my God!
Because he could watch tape, but he doesn't get the same reaction.
Right. He doesn't get to be in it with us.
Yeah.
So Swift is still there. So is Dalvin Cook.
I would take Swift over Dalvin Cook in a dynasty.
Over Debo also?
At that point, I think I would still take Swift.
Or Kyle Pitts?
I would still take Swift over.
I might take Swift, but I'd be okay with Dalvin Cook. Or actually, I'd honestly be okay with CeeDee Lamb, too.
That's
but
not a bad idea.
you know me, I'm going to end up going running back here.
I'll take Swift.
I feel like in this conversation, I'm higher than Swift than both you guys.
You are definitely higher on Swift than both of us. There's no question about it.
I don't know what's your hate against Swift?
Lions.
Okay, but he was still productive last year.
Uh-huh.
And they actually have a better team this year than they did last year.
Barely, but yep.
There's more pass catchers than there was last year.
Sure. You're going to put your money on the Lions. You're going to look at me with a straight face and say that the Lions are going to be better than Javonte Williams on the Broncos.
Who else is running with with DeAndre Swift?
This year? Nobody.
Exactly.
This year, nobody. This is a dynasty, but
I understand.
But even in a redraft, I would probably. I might. I don't like that. I don't like this question anymore.
DeAndre Swift or Zeke?
A 1 year,
Swift.
a 1 year rental.
Scott.
If we're talking about a redraft, I'm taking Swift over Williams.
Okay, but DeAndre Swift or Zeke?
No, Swift.
Okay.
No,
I just making sure.
I'm high on Zeke, but only in comparison to you guys and
Swift or Saquon?
Saquon. I like Saquon this year. I think Saquon's going to win some leagues this year.
Giants.
On the Giants.
You know who isn't going to win them some leagues?
You realize
Daniel
there's
Jones.
more pass catchers, and the quarterbacks are basically even.
Daniel Jones sucks a lot.
So does Jared Goff.
Jared Goff.
I almost think Jared Goff is better than. I don't know how he got Danny Dimes. He doesn't throw dimes.
I think
that's why.
Yeah, right. It's an ironic name.
Oh,
like a big old guy named Tiny.
QBs.
Okay, so I was telling Scott about this.
Is this? Wait, hold on. Is this a super flex?
No, it's not a super flex. And I just saw Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, and George Kittle just came off. Tyreek Hill is going to get back to me. If Tyreek Hill gets back to me, I am 100% him or Waddle. I am taking fucking them at
the third
at the
third
eight.
round.
Yeah, in the third round.
Yeah, I was telling Scott that our buddy stopped by, and he was going to take a quarterback in the 6th round, and I'm like, no, stop it! And he had already taken a tight end, so he was not even he didn't even have his actual roster.
I hate that. I didn't hate.
No,
that,
I don't either.
But
especially if you're going to take a tight end, you then have to wait. You have to wait.
You can't use a premium pick on both a tight end and a quarterback
when you don't even have your actual starting roster filled out yet.
Tyreek Hill just went
balls.
And now Waddle's going to go right before you.
Let me see your knife.
No, Aaron Jones.
Oh, so that's an easy. Do I gamble and let him get back because there's AJ Brown, Mark Andrews, and Travis Kelce, and then Waddle. I'm gonna just take Waddle because that's who I want.
Yeah, you're gonna be happier with Waddle.
Yeah. And see who gets back to me. If AJ Brown gets back to me and I can snag him, if they go, no, then of course not. Joe Burrow.
You might want to take Mark Andrews though.
I think if
he comes back to you.
If he comes back to me, I'm taking him there. That's one of the few tight ends that is a just massive difference maker.
Yeah.
Terry McLaurin.
Scary Terry. As his first wide receiver. Ouch.
Oh, that's easy. We're just going to do that.
Travis Kelce right before you in a dynasty.
I don't have a bad team so far. Javonte Williams, DeAndre Swift, Jalen Waddle, and Mark Andrews.
Yeah. Not at all. Wait. Okay. Pitts went first.
Yeah, I would have took Pitts.
Yeah.
But Pitts went in the
2nd round.
Yeah. So now I'll start building on my running back core because I can get wide receiver depth later on.
Yeah, and everybody's taking quarterback, so you're okay.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette just went ahead of players that you should probably pick otherwise.
Yeah, aside from that, Dallas looks like they've got a solid possibility for a punt returner and kick returner.
Dude, that dude was shifty as hell.
He made some really good cuts, and that's one of the things that you can actually read in a preseason game.
Right.
Is the special teams play, because that's where a lot of these players that are actually playing,
that are buying,
that's where they're going for a roster spot
this year.
Because a lot of the guys that aren't, that you know are gonna be on the team, they're in for the first drive of the game, and then it's a lot of like just roster spots at that point. And when you have a guy that takes a kick return and a punt return back in the same game and makes some really good solid moves, not just like lucky shots where he actively made some really smart plays. That's really good for Dallas. I mean, they're not going to they might make the playoffs, but they're not going to win their division.
They have a really good chance of making the playoffs because they always seem to make the playoffs.
Yeah. The problem is I think there's only going to be one team from the NFC East that makes the playoffs, and I still think that the Eagles are going to take the division.
Okay, I'm sitting here. Pick got back to me. I have Antonio Gibson, Kenneth Walker, James Conner. I don't like any of the running backs there.
I'd go wide receiver at that point.
Wide receiver, you got Mike Evans, Drake London, Jerry Jeudy, Chris Godwin, Trayvon Burks, Marquise Brown. I don't like any of those either. But Kyler Murray is there.
I don't like Kyler Murray there.
Yeah, I don't like it either. Do I reach for Sutton? I think Sutton's a better option here than...
I wouldn't go that far of a reach because he'll come back around to you.
Yeah, especially there.
I would take...
I got 16 seconds.
Well...
Then I would take a running back.
Running back, Antonio Gibson or David Montgomery.
I would take Connor, but that's just me.
I'd take Kenneth Walker there.
I'd take David Montgomery. A minute's too short for a pick here.
It's
I told them to change it, but they didn't listen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a short... It's short when you're on the clock trying to figure it out when you don't know what's actively coming to you.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, preseason week 3... The thing about it is a lot of the players that you know are going to make the team aren't going to play at all now. That's normally what happens in preseason week 4. So being that there's only 3 preseason games this year, which is going to be weird because then we're going to have like a week where there's just no football.
Yeah, it's going to be very
there's college football, but there's no NFL.
Yeah.
And now I might go Sutton at this point.
I think I might lean, Sutton or Elijah Mitchell.
I would go Sutton.
Sutton.
Yeah. If he's there, I would take Sutton.
He's there.
Because he's not going to come around to you for a while.
Cortland Sutton right here. Or Mike Williams.
I would take Cortland Sutton.
I also like Mike Williams this year.
I would take Cortland Sutton.
I think
I'd take Sutton over. Yeah. I'd take Sutton over Williams.
Yeah.
We kind of wanted to do a
mock draft.
The mock draft, right? We wanted to do this, and I think we've got a 12-team PPR, full PPR, kind of a basic squad redraft that we're doing this next week.
Yep.
So we might come back on the air later this week if we find some time to just screw around and try and test out this stream with this.
Yep.
And we'll do a mock before that, and as much as. Hopefully we'll have different camera angles and we can get some cool screens and shit like that.
You guys free Thursday afternoon?
Afternoon or evening?
I don't know. I'll have to see my wife's schedule.
Whatever. I was just thinking because I'm off today, I can come over and help get stuff.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. I'll take a stab at this tomorrow. See if we can't get this thing figured out.
So here's a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the block on Tavon Thibodeau?
No, I heard it. I haven't seen
the chop
it.
block.
No.
So basically, he was the tight end cut on him.
Okay.
And blocked low, but he had kind of like, I think he kind of pulled because he was thinking that they were going to pull a screen out. So he started to turn, So he had all of his weight planted on his right foot.
Okay.
And then the tight end, like, not chop block, but low blocked him. It's a common play. Like, it's something you see all the time. But he had all of his weight on his right foot. So when he came in, he hit his knee and he sprained his MCL. They thought he tore his ACL at first.
With the tight end or the
Thibodeau,
yeah, okay.
which is the Giants. I think their fifth, the number 5 pick this year.
Oh, right.
And so there was a bunch of people that came out, a bunch of like media came out and was like, "Oh, this can't happen. This is bullshit. This is like he needs to get fined and all this stuff. Like it was a cheap shot." But it wasn't a cheap shot, and I listened to a couple of things from like other defensive players, and like this exact play, you could pull up like thousands of shots of this exact thing happening. He's like
all the time.
He's like he just didn't see it coming because he thought something else was happening, so he got distracted. Even though that wasn't his assignment.
Yeah.
So he started doing something that he wasn't supposed to be doing anyways, which then caused that and he was like
to this blind side.
Yeah, and they were talking about the fact that he should have pushed off and got his foot out of the way. He shouldn't have had his right foot planted when you know guys are coming from your right.
Yep.
And all this stuff, and so it was like a big thing because the media came out.
Yeah, basically they're saying that the media, it looks bad.
It did.
Looks bad.
It looked terrible. It looked super painful.
But players are coming out and saying, "No, this is."
It literally happens on almost every play.
Right. Okay. No, whatever. Yeah, I felt like I saw somebody else coming off the IR this week, but now I can't think of a name.
I mean, there was some people. There was a few players.
A couple of smaller names.
Yeah, there was some players from Green Bay that came off the IR. Tanyan came off. Bakhtiari came off.
Okay.
Which is the left tackle. They're not actively playing, but they're off the pup list.
Okay.
So they're doing one-on-one drills.
Yep.
So that's good for Green Bay to get both of those guys back because that's a red zone target and coverage.
Yeah, Gallup's starting to move some more.
Yeah.
Okay. Backed up for the pick. I got Kenneth Walker available, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Damian Harris, Damian Pierce, Chase Edmonds.
I've heard a lot of awesome things about Pierce.
Yeah.
And I have heard quite a few things about
so that might be a fun little risky move.
He's a little farther down, or do I take Marquise Brown or Devontae Smith?
Okay, I would probably take Marquise Brown there, given that the first 6 weeks are going to be without.
That's actually a really good idea.
And then when it comes back around.
I got 3 wide receivers, 3 running backs, pretty balanced, so now I can hit a running back on the way back.
Yeah.
Do you take Kenneth Walker and plant him?
I would probably go with Pierce, though.
Or Pierce.
I think Pierce has the safer lock on the job.
Yeah. And he looked good.
Yeah, certainly.
He looks good. I'm a little concerned from the little bit that I've seen from him because obviously he's not playing a ton.
Right.
But his running style is a little erratic.
Okay.
And I'm concerned with like a knee.
Yeah.
Because of the way that he actively runs.
Yeah.
He cuts and shifts a lot, which looks really good.
Yeah. And he's a bigger guy, so it's not like he's out there, as a scat back.
Yeah, but I'm just concerned that I don't know how well that run style will hold up over like a season length.
Yeah, especially when he's going to end up being the focal point of the offense.
Exactly.
What's the new quarterback's name down there? I like the kid.
Mills. Davis Mills.
Yeah, I like him.
Dougie Mills.
I think they're kind of expecting a leap forward with him this year.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna gamble. I think Pierce gets back to me.
Think he's gonna come back again?
I think he's gonna get back again.
Okay. You pick then.
So I'm
taking Kenneth Walker and putting him on IR.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay, so that's pretty much it for the show this week, right? I mean, next week we're going to do a live draft of one of our leagues. This is the second year in a row that we've had this league.
Third, isn't it?
Second that I think I've been a part of it. I think Rick and I joined this last year.
Okay.
We'll talk final preseason game.
Yep.
or preseason week.
And we'll kind of lay out the plan for the because you guys are all going to be starting to draft your redrafts.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of cover some redraft basic strategy again, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
All right,
about it.
guys.
Quick and
We'll-
simple.
We'll see you guys next week.
Later.